Have you been looking for a web host that doesn't have any renewal gimmicks? Well, in this video, I'll be covering the cheapest web hosting providers, which start from less than $9 a year. So $8.95 per year, all the way up to $30 per year. So these are extremely affordable providers that are reliable as well. So let's get straight into it. Guys, my name is Joel, and in this video, I'll be covering the cheapest web hosting providers without the renewal gimmicks. So let's just get straight into it. So why cheap? So you may ask why you want some provider that is cheap and affordable. Well, the reality is some sites may only have basic requirements. So if it's a base informational or brochure site that just has a contact form or maybe minor requirements in terms of bandwidth, this cheap hosting might just get the job done. The other thing is that it's something that is set and forget. So a lot of the web hosting recommendations that I've seen online actually have low introductory fee at the beginning when you purchase their plans, but the renewal fees double, triple, or even quadruple, or even up to 10 times their original price. Hence why I thought I'd cover this video on cheap providers that are actually affordable without the renewal gimmicks. And finally is if you don't want to bother with switching. So obviously with the providers that have low introductory fees, after you purchase a contract plan, for example, 12 months, 24, 36, even 48 months, you can switch to another provider that has low introductory rates and just keep switching that way. But this is just a set and forget thing where you want to just ensure that the price you pay now is what you pay in the future as well. So that's why I covered this video. Now, I'm just going to cover the minimum requirements that I go for or look for when I'll be showing these providers. So the first thing is that they have 24/7 support. So just because they're an affordable provider does not mean that support should be something that's compromised on. So when I'm looking for the providers to use, I would have ensured that I have personal experience with them, and I will be going through the setup and management and speed test of these providers as well in this video, so you can just see how that all goes. The other thing is storage. So SSD storage, I'll ensure the providers that I'll show you in this video actually use SSD storage. The other essential thing that I'm looking for is free SSL certificates. So a lot of web hosts even now still charge for SSL certificates, and it's a paid thing that you have to do. Whereas in this video, when I'm covering affordable hosts, we don't want to be paying extra for the SSL certificates. So I'll be making sure that the hosts I recommended this video offer free SSL certificates that are issued and automatically renewed. And speaking of automation, I'd also ensure that there's automatic backups available, at least for 14 days retention. You don't want to be worrying about your site in case if it goes down or any critical errors in terms of an update. So in that case, you should be able to easily recover from the control panel. The most important thing is isolation. So in shared hosting, when you're pretty much sharing the resources available on that server, you want to make sure that another website, any change or hack that happens to another website doesn't affect yours. That's why isolation, ensuring that your service is pretty much containerized, is very important. And typically hosts use a service such as Cloud Linux for this. So I'll be ensuring that the hosts that I recommend also use Cloud Linux. Now, some other additional things I want to say is just web hosting in terms of the web server that will be used. So tests have shown that the Lightspeed web server is actually faster than the typical Apache or Nginx. So the host that I'll be covering at least will be using that. So that's amazing, especially with the free Lightspeed cache plugin. So you can definitely optimize the website to get high scores, even comparing the price point. And also in terms of control panel, cPanel is industry standard. However, the rising cost of cPanel actually lets providers look for alternative control panels out there. And one of the top affordable control panels is DirectAdmin. Me personally, I've actually found DirectAdmin a lot more easier to use, although I am familiar with cPanel. But for beginners, DirectAdmin would just make life so much easier, and it's easy and simple to manage. So the hosts I'll be covering actually offer both, but I would suggest getting the DirectAdmin plans because first of all, they're cheaper as the hosts are able to pass on the cost savings. And secondly, it's not as expensive, or it's less likely that it would get as expensive as cPanel down the line. And for basic simple use, DirectAdmin is recommended. Now, the best requirement that I'll be going through in this video would be that the hosts have no renewal gimmicks. That means what you paid now or after you use the coupon code that I'll be providing in this video, that will be the price you will continue to pay without any renewal gimmicks. So it's a set and forget thing. So let's get straight into it. Okay, now the provider or web host that I'll be recommending for this is SimpleSonic. Now SimpleSonic is a fairly new web host, I believe launched in 2023. However, their specs and servers that they provide are absolutely amazing. I've actually tested it and we'll be going through another test with one of the SimpleSonic's plan. But just to show you how cheap it can get, if we go into economy hosting, economy shared, you can see their DirectAdmin hosting plans as low as $8.95 per year, guys. So that gets you access to 1 GB of NVMe disk. So that's 1 GB of storage. Typically, that's more than enough for any brochure sites that are out there. Maybe you could add 2 or 3 sites in that plan itself. Ideally, you just want to have one just to ensure that you're getting best value of the plan. Now, the other thing is 10 gigabytes of bandwidth as well. So basic sites with a couple of visits per month, bandwidth should be able to easily cover that. And as you can see, there's a $15 plan as well, $14.95, that gives you 10 gigabytes of storage and 25 gigabytes of bandwidth per month as well, and all the way up to $22.95. So this is the economy plan, and they have all these features. So you can see even the assigned system resources are more than enough, especially a web host being able to offer 4 CPU V cores and 4 gigs of memory at this amazing rate. It's a no-brainer when you're looking for something that's affordable and set and forget. The other thing you want to look for in terms of web hosts is also locations, as you want to host your website closer to your visitors. So SimpleSonic actually has USA, UK, and Malaysia. So Asia region is also covered with their hosting plan. So you can choose with either of these plans. They're able to let you choose which location. And you can see that the control panel they use is DirectAdmin. They have 100% uptime guaranteed. But when you're looking for an affordable provider, 99% or higher is a minimal requirement, as you want your site to be always up. But with SimpleSonic, you can see they guarantee 100% uptime. And not just SSDs, SimpleSonic actually use NVMe SSDs, which are a lot more faster as well. So that's amazing. And you can see they have daily full account backups taken as well with 30-day retention. So it's a set and forget. In case of any issues or errors with your WordPress updates, you can just revert back from the account itself. And they're using Cloud Linux in order to isolate and secure your environment. As a bonus, you can see the Lightspeed web server has been used, so you can use the free Lightspeed cache and you should be able to get even A-grade scores on these plans, even considering how affordable they are. And the final thing is in terms of email, you can see that they use mail channels. So a mail channel is pretty much an email relay that protects the IP. So if you have seen my custom email sending video or even with CyberPanel, I did recommend not to set up your own mail server when you're using such as CyberPanel with a VPS, because it's very hard to manage the IP reputation in case someone on this server, for example, is using it to send unsolicited or spam emails, and therefore other site providers would be blocking, and therefore it would affect the whole reputation of the domain that you send. Using a service like Mail Channels, it allows for you to get pretty much 10 out of 10 scores, especially as Mail Channels has reputable relays that they use. And I haven't had any issues with the providers that I've used Mail Channels with. I've constantly got 10 out of 10 scores, meaning that you can send and receive emails delivered to the inbox. And you can see the domains possibility, so add-ons and domain aliases increases as you go in plans, and everything else is pretty much basic. You even have SSH access with these plans as well. So these are the economy plans. Now guys, the other thing I wanted to go through was the DirectAdmin shared hosting plans with SimpleSonic. Now you just saw the yearly plans, the economy plans with them. However, if you take a look at this, $3.95 per month for 50 gigabytes of storage, and these are the specs assigned to the account. So you can see how much of a value it is. Now, the best thing about this is what I wanted to say is SimpleSonic constantly has deals running, and I've actually managed to partner with them to get 50% recurring discount on top of the pricing available. So for these shared hosting plans, if you use the coupon code JTech50, you would be able to get 50% recurring discount on an already super discounted plan. And there's cPanel hosting and DirectAdmin hosting as well. But like I said, I prefer the DirectAdmin hosting. It's a lot more cheaper, and you never know with cPanel's increased pricing how that may go. So I would definitely recommend this, and you can get less than $3 per month with all these specs. And you can see with SimpleSonic they have unlimited bandwidth, free anti-DDoS protection, so that's an additional security benefit, free SSL certificates, and one-click app installations for you to easily install CMSs like WordPress and other platforms that you may want to install through Softaculous. And this is a bit more detailed, so you can see this great shift in pricing with cPanel, hence why I recommend most people, especially if you're looking for something affordable, to stick with DirectAdmin. And you're able to adjust this slider to increase the storage as you need. And even with this pricing, if you use the coupon code, you should be able to get 50% discount. So just let me know how that goes and if you've benefited from the discount code. And the benefit of these plans in shared hosting compared to the economy is obviously the higher limitations that you have, such as, hourly limit instead of daily limit on the emails, just to protect their thing. And also with domains, you can see it's unmetered, so you can add as much domains and aliases and subdomains as you need with DNS management and everything available. And just as before, they use Jet Backup, so it's amazing to see that SimpleSonic is using or just maintaining the mail channels, or even Immunify 360, or just security overall on even economy plans. So that's a good thing to see. So if you're looking for something set and forget as well, these shared hosting prices, just use my discount code. You'll be able to get the discount from here. And also if you want, you can use the economy plans. However, the value you get from these plans, especially with the discount code, is definitely worth it. So check that out. Now I'll set this hosting up so you can see, but it's a simple and straightforward process. And the best thing that I found about SimpleSonic was their support. So they have live chat here, but also the ticketing system. I've usually managed to get around 30 minutes, any responses at issues sorted. And another thing was free migration. So they had actually helped me migrate the site over. So that's also good to see from such an affordable provider. So I'll just go through a setup process, but it's pretty much straightforward. Just press order, and then you would either sign up or sign in. Okay, so once you hit order now, it's going to ask you to choose a domain. So you can either register a domain from the hosting provider itself. Now I prefer to register domains from an external service, like a dedicated domain registrar, and I have recently uploaded a video on the best domain registrars because of their features that they provide with themselves, and it's ideal not to have all your eggs in one basket. So take a look at that video and select a domain registrar. So as per that, I have a domain from Namecheap that I'll be using. So for me, I'll just click I will use existing domain and update my name servers, and then enter the domain here. So and then click. So my domain is cybersite1.click, so I'll just add that and then click use. And then from here, so you can see I've selected this plan, and then as I said, if you use my discount code, you should be able to get that discount. So I'll just go for the 1 month, but you can save costs as you go, even getting up to $2.17 per month on the 36-month plan. Now, data center location, just choose one closest to your visitors. For me in Australia, it's going to be Malaysia, so I'll select that. Continue. Okay, so once you're here, you want to enter the promo code here. Now, it's valid for new customers, so make sure you use that JTech50 code once you're signing up. Now, because I already have an account, it's not going to let me. However, because most of you watching would be a new customer for it, so just use that JTech50 code, enter here, and then the price should be cut in half. And then go checkout and follow the process. And if I just refresh this, I should be able to see that it's now activated. There we go, so it's all active, and you can see that it's been assigned. Now if I click this, it's a direct login anyway, so it should take me into the web hosting server, automatically logged in. And you can see how friendly and easy to use DirectAdmin is compared to cPanel. If you've used that before, everything's just in one place. You can manage all of your domain stuff here. And with the email that I've shown before, so you can get the name servers from there or from the dashboard like so. You can see the name servers that has been assigned, so it's these two. So what I'll do is actually copy that over and go to my domain registrar, which is Namecheap. So this is the domain that I'll be using for this, and all I have to do is just update the name servers. So I was using these before, now I'll just add the new one and copy the second one as well and paste that in here and give it a tick so it's saved. And this may take some time to propagate, so it depends on your domain registrar as well. So you can, it's a similar process with most of the domain registrars, just to update the name servers, and you just add the ones provided by SimpleSonic and then just give it some time for it to fully propagate. Okay guys, so it's been a while. I think it took around 10 to 20 minutes. However, you can see the site's propagated, so it's quite quick already, and there is an SSL certificate assigned to this site. So this is just the generic DirectAdmin panel. So if I go into our control panel here, the first thing I'd like to do, go under domain setup, select our domain, and actually force the SSL so that it's automatically, anytime someone visits the HTTP version, so I'll show you like so, HTTP, it needs to take them to the HTTPS. So you can see the HTTP version is not secure. So if we tick that and then modify, it should sort that issue out. The other thing is, this is now that we've pointed name servers to the DirectAdmin panel. This is where we'll be actually managing all our DNS records. So you can see most of the records have been set up and it's straightforward, so we can just start using SMTP and mail and all of that. And they've used the mail channels relay, so, and included DKIM, so a lot of the stuff, especially with DirectAdmin, was automated and set up for us, so that's all good. And even as SSL certificates, you can see it's automatically assigned, so that's another bonus. And what I'll just go through is also setting up email accounts and forwarding and stuff on DirectAdmin, just a very quick thing. So email account, this is just the default it's created. All you would need to do is create one, hello for example, generate a password here, so I'll just do this random one. I like to max this out and click create. So those are the details if you want to set up SMTP and such, and clicking this will take you to webmail. You can see that. The rest of the stuff are just straightforward in terms of forwarders and MX records. Now the final thing I'll just quickly show you, so there's terminal here, but what I'll show you is actually installing WordPress. So WordPress is here, it uses Syntactix to install, and we'll click install. Our domain's automatically been selected and HTTPS version. You would just enter the username and password you want, and simple as clicking install. So with Syntactix it's quite straightforward and quite instant as well. So you can see the site's been installed. If we visit our domain, there we go. So WordPress is there. Set up a demo website. So I thought I'd quickly show you the process of how I'll actually be setting up this test environment. So it's pretty much installing a plugin, which is the starter templates by Brainstorm Force, and it would actually, I'll import one of the free templates available, and it would automatically install all of that, and then we'll just run a speed test based off that. So I'll skip through this process. Okay, so this is just the test site that we'll be using. It's just a basic template that I've imported from Astra. So just a heads up as well, this is already a kind of heavy site that I installed in terms of the template, as it's got WooCommerce and all that installed. And I'll just clear out these plugins. And now that we've got Lightspeed Cache, I'm not going to do a lot of optimization. I'll just purge all and just clear out the database from here. Hopefully this helps. If you want, you can do a lot more optimization with the Lightspeed. There's so many options available. However, just for the sake of this video, all I'll do is clear that and then just clear the cache again. Okay guys, so as seen this from the Mumbai, India location, you can see that our hosting with SimpleSonic, even on the affordable plan that we're in, you can see we've got an A score, and I typically like to do the test after a while as well, and 2 times, so I did give it some time, so I'll just retest as well, and we'll see how that's looking. Okay, so it looks like it went a bit down surprisingly, but to B score. But this is our load time for first byte, you can see here, and it's the Astra template with the Lightspeed cache plugin installed. So the next thing I'll do is I'll do a similar setup but with SiteGround. So I'll be using the basic SiteGround plan just to test out how that would be. SiteGround is one of the popular web hosting choices, and we'll just compare the speed. So I'll install the same kind of setup with it, and obviously with SiteGround you've got the SiteGround optimizer installed by default. So I won't be installing Lightspeed cache or anything, but I'll just install all of that and then come back to you with the page speed score for that. Okay, so I've done a similar setup on the SiteGround site that I've set up under this domain. So you can see the SiteGround cache. It's the exact same website, same replication, and I'll just do the same test. Now for the SiteGround, it automatically chose the Australian Sydney server for me. So we'll just keep it as it is now. So it's not an exact comparison, but we'll keep the Mumbai, India server for testing, and I'll just analyze. Okay, so first off the bat, even with the initial, we can see that there is a C grade score even with SiteGround. Now, just to be fair, I'll test it again and then we'll see that as well. Okay, so we tested this again, and on the equivalent SiteGround plan, I tested with the startup plan, and you can see the specs here. So even out of the box with SimpleSonic, which is this site, and SiteGround, you can see it's almost similar except the price point. So with SiteGround, you would pay that much per month, and renewal, which is this. Whereas with SimpleSonic, you could see the price that you're paying, recurring discounted price. And for the performance difference, you can see so this was our SimpleSonic website, 85% score here, 1.5, and fully loaded in 3.4 seconds with time for first byte in 400 milliseconds. And with our SiteGround site, 87%, 1.6 seconds for LCP, and 2.8 seconds for fully loaded with 600 milliseconds for the time to first byte. So it's pretty much identical except the price point and features you get with SimpleSonic. SimpleSonic uses DirectAdmin, and you get higher storage for a lot of cheaper pricing as well. So that's just the difference I wanted to show you with SimpleSonic versus the typical web host that you would have. And like I said, guys, it's the exact same website tested between two domains. So you can see how significant the difference is. So that's it, guys. Even from my testing, you could just see how significant the performance differences, even with a budget provider such as SimpleSonic, with their high specs they've given us, and comparing it to something like SiteGround where they use their own custom control panel and everything. Even with that, we can get a better performance from SimpleSonic, or even similar performance, I'd say. They have email migration and such, and just like with SimpleSonic, you get in touch with their support, they should be able to help you with that. And that it's just, you can just see the difference that we have. Now, I thought I'd just final rundown on another host as well if you're looking for an alternative, which is Asura Hosting. So Asura Hosting has affordable web hosting plans. You can see their DirectAdmin yearly plans as well, so as low as $12 per year, or even this $26.99 plan. Now, Asura Hosting is a host that I used initially. However, I did find better performance overall. You could just see from the speed test, support-wise, and also with emails, overall better with SimpleSonic. I thought I'd just recommend Asura as an alternative if you are looking for a different provider compared to SimpleSonic. But with Asura Hosting, at least when I initially used their emails, they don't use a dedicated email service or relay like mail channels. And I did clarify this with support. And the main reason I found out that was after running a mail test, I did notice that I didn't get 10 out of 10 scores. I actually had 2 IPs blacklisted, or the IPs that I was using blacklisted by 2 providers. So that's why I'm just a bit hesitant for Asura Hosting. But they do have affordable services like you can see here, and without the real gimmicks. So that's another benefit with Asura. But currently, my top pick for an affordable, cheap host that doesn't sacrifice heavily on performance whilst being able to get you this much benefits would be SimpleSonic. So if you're looking for a host, use JTech50 when you're signing up to get 50% recurring discount, and it will be great if you can use the affiliate links in the description below to help out the channel. That's it for the video, guys. Hope that helps. If you're looking for any other video content, just feel free to let me know in the comments your thoughts, any other comparisons that you want me to do, and I'll get back to you in the next video. Cheers.